My wife, 42, and I, 44, have celebrated 19 years of marriage. And our journey together spans 25 years. We're proud parents to 3 wonderful kids, all under the age of 14. The challenges began in 2015 when she lost her mother to cancer, followed by the passing of her father in 2016. These losses plunged her into a profound depression. Over the next 2 years, I took on the responsibility of caring for our kids while she worked. But unfortunately, this period marked the onset of a stagnant intimacy in our relationship. It seemed like nothing could lift her spirits. Facing the communication gap, I turned to playing video games during the evenings once the kids were in bed, as she gradually emerged from her depression after 2 years. There was a positive shift. She started engaging more, expressing a desire for family activities, and our physical connection rekindled. This positive phase continued for a year, until I experienced the loss of my father. His passing plunged me into a deep depression, causing me to withdraw, much like my wife had during her difficult times. In response, I found solace in playing video games and unintentionally started neglecting my wife. Despite this, I made an effort to express love, share hugs, and take her out. Additionally, we ended up sleeping in separate rooms due to our son's medical condition, which required close monitoring at night. I found myself in his room, where I had set up my Xbox and spent a couple of hours playing games before falling asleep. Then the COVID-19 pandemic unfolded. The shift to remote learning for my kids and my wife working from home became the new normal. Her job required her to source supplies for reopening her business. Once the restrictions eased and she collaborated closely with a colleague, over the following months she grew more distant, and our communication dwindled. Despite my efforts to express love and appreciation through gestures like small gifts, she remained emotionally distant. We collectively decided to continue remote learning for the 2020 to 2021 school year, primarily because our son was grappling with a severe medical condition, juggling the responsibilities of managing the kids' education. I didn't immediately recognize the worsening distance between us. The dormant bedroom issue resurfaced in the summer of 2021. I took up a job with Lyft to supplement our income. I worked on the days she was at home to be closer to our son's school. Come fall 2021, a pivotal moment occurred when I picked up a passenger from the airport. During the ride, the lady conversed with her friend about meeting her affair partner for intimate encounters. While both were in town for business, she revealed that her husband was back home with the kids, engrossed in video games, unaware of her infidelity due to his busy schedule. This narrative struck a chord with me, echoing the dynamics in my own relationship. I decided to intensify my efforts in expressing affection and love. Even though I was already a naturally affectionate person, despite my attempts, the emotional distance between us continued to grow. Realizing the severity of the situation, I took the initiative to write a heartfelt letter, acknowledging the existing distance and expressing my desire to work through it. I emphasized the importance of mutual effort in restoring our connection. She responded by stating that she would try to improve. However, over the following year, there was minimal improvement. Affectionate gestures were scarce, and our physical intimacy dwindled. Due to the side effects of her depression medication, which dampened her sex drive, hand-holding and verbal expressions of love became infrequent, with her often opting to sleep in the car to avoid conversation. D-Day unfolded on May 4th of this year. While my wife was at the office, I attempted to communicate with her via text throughout the day, but there was no response. When she finally called, she explained that she hadn't received my texts due to poor signal reception in her office. To ensure she received my messages, she suggested using Google Chat, which would appear on her work computer. However, even after utilizing Google Chat, there were still no responses. Upon her return home, after putting the kids to bed, she took a shower. It was at this point that I succumbed to my emotions. and checked her phone given that May 4th is celebrated as Star Wars Day. I initially confirmed that she indeed hadn't received my texts until she left the office. However, as I delved deeper into her Google chat messages, I uncovered evidence of her infidelity on that specific Star Wars Day. She had initiated a conversation with him, sharing numerous May the 4th gifts despite my shared passion for Star Wars. I had not received any such messages. As I meticulously examined their exchanges, I discovered that the affair had been ongoing for almost 3 years. The messages were filled with expressions of longing and love. I felt a profound sense of foolishness and was left utterly devastated, despite the guy moving to Kansas in 2020. He continued to visit the office 1 week a month, working remotely the rest of the time. It seems that during their Zoom meetings, to plan their business reopening, he initiated flirtation historically. When other guys flirted with her, she would shut them down. However, this guy, who wasn't as conventionally attractive as me, seemed to capture her interest. While I may not be a perfect 10 and carry a bit of a dad bod, I'd rate myself around a 6 or 7, while he appeared to be more of a 4. Their interactions escalated from flirting to having lunch together. Eventually, these lunches evolved into rendezvous at his hotel room during her claimed late work hours, all for the sake of engaging in daytime intimacy. I even came across a text to her friend where she mentioned that the sex wasn't better but emphasized her craving for attention. Despite discovering this, I chose not to confront her immediately, as I was scheduled for surgery in the summer and needed her assistance during this time. I discreetly took screenshots of everything for my own records. Following my surgery, we made the decision to relocate closer to our family. However, during the house hunting process, she showed minimal interest and assistance. In October, I decided to check her phone once more. It turned out that their affair had concluded in June, just before my surgery. He seemed frustrated that she was dedicating time to care for me and our kids. This revelation helped me understand why she had become more affectionate, loving, and interested in intimacy with me after my recovery. In the past week, a significant argument erupted between us as she once again became distant and uncommunicative. Frustrated, I raised my voice, accusing her of cheating with a co-worker. Initially, she denied the allegations and dismissed my concerns as an overreaction. However, when I confronted her with the evidence, her demeanor shifted from defensive to tearful. I decided to leave and sought solace at my sister's house. Although I returned home for Christmas to be with the kids, my plan is to leave again after the holidays. I informed her that I intend to file for divorce after the new year. Her reaction included tears and concerns about logistics, such as transportation to work and assistance with the kids. I suggested she turn to the affair partner for support, despite her pleas for reconciliation through marriage counseling. I've made up my mind to seek full custody, alimony, and child support when I initiate the divorce proceedings. It's disheartening to realize that 25 years may have been wasted.